we are going to be talking about reinventing your workforce. And I know if you're like most of my clients, we're very tired of interviewing. We're tired of candidates not showing up, and then the constant onboarding that has to occur once you finally do find someone to hire. And so hiring the right employees has really been a long battle for many industries, probably most industries right now, not just childcare. And so what if you were able to create a waiting list of teachers who wanted to work for you instead of you having to always go out there and recruit? Wouldn't it be great if you could just like come in one day and you had a line of teachers standing outside your door saying, you know, I really want a job. Do you have any openings yet? And so a lot of us are experiencing that on the enrollment side, but it would be really great to have that on the employment side. So today, when we talk about reinventing your workforce, that's what we're talking about, is how do you attract teachers and leaders to your company without all the headaches of missed interviews, etc. And then how does your current employee base affect you being able to attract new employees? So the people that you currently have on staff, your current workforce, how do you put them to work for you? And so again, this is Childcare Biz Help. I'm Caroline Jens, and Childcare Biz Help has been around for about 3 years, and we're looking forward to many years more to come. We have had some really amazing things happen over our first 3 years. Most recently, we just released a sales and marketing automation tool that helps with enrollment, recruitment, and onboarding. So if it's something you're interested, let me know. We can give you a demo. But everything that we do for childcare centers, we tailor, we customize. We've really got a great team of past childcare people that work for us. So loving what we're doing, love training and being a resource for childcare centers all over the world. And for me, anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Caroline Jens, the founder of Childcare Biz Help. And that's all I really need to say about myself. Most of you I see who are attending today have met me before and know about me. My past life, I was an executive director for a multi-location childcare center. And like I said, I interact with childcare centers all over the US. So as far as staying relevant on childcare topics, we are like in it every day. So even though we're not running our own centers, we're running actually like, I don't know, 15 different ones, different brands all over the US. But we found this quote, and I thought it was really relevant here. Talent shortage is really an issue in our current market. 3/4 of employers are having a difficult time finding skilled candidates. I mean, let's let that sink in for a minute. That's almost 73% of employers out there around the US are having troubles filling spots. And in childcare, the second half of the statement is actually even more important. 45% of employers are concerned about finding employees with necessary talents. So from a credential standpoint and what we need and require, what our states require of our teachers to be in our classrooms, 45% of employers are having a hard time attracting those type of people. So I would imagine that statistic's probably higher for our industry. But it's a statistic that is really relevant in our current industry. Today, our mission is to challenge you to implement strategies so that you're going to be able to attract employees rather than needing to recruit them. You know, we're going to talk about reinventing your workforce so that, again, your current staff is out there helping you attract new hires. So who should reinvent their workforce? I'm going to quick do a poll. If you could go ahead and take a minute and check the statements that you can answer yes to. And there's 3 different statements. 100% of my employees love coming to work. Our employees are always referring other candidates to come work here. We have no staff drama at our centers, so our customer is always our focus. So if you can answer yes to any of those, I encourage you to go ahead and click yes. All right. Give me one more minute. Great. So as you can see, we only have one of you that believe that they have employees that fit these statements. And that's actually what I expected, because, let me stop sharing the results here. That's why you're here today. I mean, we need to learn how to reinvent our workforce, because to be able to answer yes to all those questions is just something that most of us can't do. I mean, to even answer yes to one of those questions would be difficult. So the real challenge is, so how do we reinvent our workforce? So many of us, based on your response, we need to work on being better leaders. And we need to work on how to challenge our workforce to also be great leaders. And so we're going to talk about leading through challenge, creating raving fans, and then sharing those experiences. Those three things, if we can get a real good grip on those three things today, I think you'll walk away with some really great ideas on how you can reinvent your specific workforce at your childcare center. All right, so leading through the challenge. Leading through the challenge, as leaders, we have to be an example of the environment that we're trying to cultivate, right? Everyone's looking at us, we're at the top, we're always under the microscope, we've heard that before. So we have to lead through the challenge. A lot of the centers I'm working for are having to hire between 3 and 5 positions per childcare center. And so if you were to let that frustration show all the time, what kind of leader are you being? And so leading through that challenge, through having to fulfill that many spots in your center, that's really hard to do. So people are going to watch you, and they're going to see how you're handling the situation, and they will model after you. So we need to make sure that we're not modeling behaviors of an environment that we're not trying to cultivate. So don't waver on the standards that you're trying to uphold. So there's 3 things when you're leading through challenge. There's emotional intelligence, there's words that matter, and then showing your team that you care about, showing your team what you care about, that you obsess about it, that you care about them. So leading through challenge, working on those 3 things. Now, emotional intelligence, that's kind of a hefty word, but it's really about self-management of your emotions. Again, setting that example, leading through change. How are you handling your emotions as a leader? Self-management encompasses a multitude of competencies that includes emotional self-control, which is the ability to stay calm and level-headed during periods of high stress or during a crisis. Again, in childcare centers, we have a lot of crisis. You're constantly putting out fires. So emotionally, are you staying calm? Are you staying level-headed? And so it's important for leaders to develop ways to deal with disruptive impulses that you may have, or disruptive emotions that might come about during the course of your day, that you would normally maybe act differently at home. But as a leader, we need to set that example. We need to have a level of emotional intelligence that sets us apart from the rest of our team. So I found these questions. Ask these questions to determine your level of emotional intelligence, and I thought these were really good. How well do you know your emotions? How well do you manage your emotions? How do you adapt or change based on your emotions? How well do you recognize the emotions in others? And how well do you handle relationships? So learning how to answer those questions will give you an insight as to what your level of emotional intelligence is and how you're handling situations at your childcare center. Now, words matter. You know, we hear this every day. Everything that comes out of our mouth is going to have an impact on those that are around us, you know, whether that impact is positive or negative. So when was the last time you thought about the words that you use every day? You know, when were you really intentional about the stuff that comes out of your mouth? Do you ever think about the impression that your words make on people when you speak them? You know, that tone that comes out of your mouth, it's the words and the tone and how you express them could really make a difference on the person that you're trying to mentor. It could be the difference between one of your teachers coming back the next day. It could really just be about what is coming out of your mouth. And so your words do have incredible power. They can build up, they can destroy opportunity, or they can maintain the status quo. You know, maintaining status quo cannot be an option in your childcare center. We have to constantly be growing and constantly be developing. So maintaining the status quo with the words that come out of our mouth is just simply not an option. Your words reinforce your beliefs, and your beliefs create your reality. It's up to you to speak in a way that will move you closer to being the person you want to be and the person that you want your workforce to be. Speak as if every word you say matters, because in many cases, every word you speak does matter. The best leaders accept 100% for the clarity of their communications. They make certain their words are appropriate, they make certain their words are heard, and they make certain their words are understood. So again, when you look at reinventing your workforce, we have to take responsibility for what is coming out of our mouth. Not only that we're saying the right things, but are the people receiving it really understand what we're trying to say? And when you do that, you're creating a workforce that understands expectations. They understand what is expected of them, what your goals are for your center. So you've clearly communicated what you want your workforce, how you want them to act, what you want their vision to be, how happy you want them to be. So if you're speaking negativity all the time, your workforce is not going to be positive. It's just not going to happen. And so we have to be very conscientious about those words. They do matter. I do have a link in this presentation to where I found some of this information on words matter, and I just thought it was a really great piece. So when I do send you the slides, you'll be able to click on that link and dive in a little more. And then show your team what you care about, obsess about it, and model it. So be clear. Don't be afraid to, you know, put things on your walls or pictures or imagery, whatever it is that shows your team that you really want a specific kind of environment. You know, how can you show your culture in your workspace? And as a way to model as a leader the kind of place that you want. So something simple is just looking at your desk even. You know, if your desk is just a disaster and you are trying to have this a positive environment, people are going to come to your office and look at your desk and go, you know, her desk is pretty messy, she looks really unorganized, kind of looks like maybe she doesn't follow up on things, or he doesn't follow up on things. Maybe they're really not passionate about where they work. And so people are going to draw conclusions and they're going to build perceptions based on your workspace. So show your team what you care about and model that behavior. Create raving fans. Now this is my favorite, and I talk about it all the time because it is critical. We have to create raving fans as leaders. Our sole purpose really should be to not just create raving fans in our families, but in our employees. Because when we do that, when our workforce become raving fans. That is how you're going to attract other people who want to work for you, because your raving fans of current employees are going to be out there advocating for you. In order to do that, obviously, you have to get rid of those toxic ones. I know it's scary, not having a lot of staff, but we really do need to get rid of those toxic staff, or they're going to pull your raving fans down, or they might make your raving fans leave, which could be detrimental. You don't want to end up with all negative and toxic employees and then all your good ones are gone. So get rid of those toxic ones. We need to praise. Showing praise to your staff has got to be a mission every day. You know, find praise in the little things. It doesn't always have to be the big things. We've talked about this before, but when your staff feel appreciated and they feel like you're giving like real praise, not just superficial praise, but where they really feel like that's coming from the heart, you will definitely create raving fans in your company. And then, you know, we really need to look at the wellness, both the physical and the mental status of our employees, because if we're supporting our employees' mental wellness or physical wellness, they're going to be happier employees, and they're going to know that you care about them. So it's not that you have to get gym memberships or you need to get massage therapists sent over. You know, asking simple questions like, what can we do to alleviate some of the stress during your day? You know, just a simple question like that. You might uncover something. They might tell you, you know, I just need 5 minutes during the day to go take a break. You know, that might be all they need for their mental wellness, and all that it took from you is a simple, quick question to them. And yeah, you have to work on scheduling and figuring out how am I going to get that person 5 minutes, but at least it shows you cared, and then follow through on that. You doing that, you're going to not only help them personally be better people, but you are definitely going to create raving fans out of your staff when you're going that extra mile. I was just trying to read one of the questions someone said. What can you do if you have staff that abuse when you offer these things? You know, unfortunately, there's going to be staff out there that do abuse it. And the only thing I can say is that the ones that abuse it are not your top employees. And so you have to pay more attention to the people that are not abusing it. Don't give the people that aren't fitting your expectations, don't give them the time of day. If you build up the top 20% in your organization and you get them raving, you're going to have this middle 60% that are going to follow that top group. And so hopefully they're going to be making enough noise to where that bottom staff that abuse things or they don't appreciate things, you know, those will hopefully get squished out of your organization. It takes a while. It's not an overnight thing, and it's never fun. You know, when those toxic employees are coming to your desk, we just did a training on this, but when those toxic employees come to your desk all day long and they're the ones that want to like vomit negativity on you, stand up and walk out. You know, don't sit there and let them put that negativity on you, that you know, criticism that's not constructive. You know, it's good to hear. Some people need to, you know, express constructive criticism. That's great. You need to hear that. But it's that stuff we all know. It's just that gossip kind of, you know, I just keep word vomit. But when that does happen, get yourself out of that space. And so if you even need to, if they come into your office, stand up, tell them, thanks for coming in and having your comments, but I need to go now. And so if you do that a few times, they're going to get into the habit of knowing, oh, she's really not listening to me. Oh, you're the queen of the walkaway. Yay. Yeah, I mean, it's uncomfortable the first couple times that you do it, but once you do it, people will be like, oh, well, she's not going to feed into my negativity. And that's what you want. You want to know, you want your staff to know that you're not going to stand for it. And you don't even want to listen to it. And so Resources to do the job. There's nothing worse than being a teacher and not having the resources to do the job. You know, let's be real. You don't want your teachers out there having to buy their own supplies. And so creating raving fans in your workforce, you know, really starts at that, making sure that your staff has what they need in order to do their jobs. And then share your unique experiences. So this is where you are going to use the great experiences that your raving fans are talking about, and you're going to share that. And by you sharing it, you're going to attract employees. This is how you get that line of staff outside your door wanting to work for you, because they're going to start seeing what's going on and they're going to want to be a part of it. And so when you're out there impacting your community, share what you're doing. You know, take pictures, write blogs about it, make sure your staff are in the photos, you know, make sure you're doing things as a team. And so a lot of millennials love to be involved in things that are much bigger than they are. You know, they want to have purpose. And many of us do want to have purpose in life. And so when our companies are out there helping us be a part of something bigger, you know, that takes it to a whole new level. And so when you do those types of things, share those on whatever social media, website, whatever you can do, share it out there. We need to share what's going on in our culture through imagery, emotions, and words. Those are the three things that are kind of that rule of thumb. So again, on your website, on your social media, whatever medium that you can, you know, on your Indeed career page, a lot of people fail to set up the actual career page on Indeed. You know, all they'll go in is put their profile in and put their jobs in there, but there's actually a job page, like a company page that you can brand and put pictures in there and have people write testimonials. So, you know, that's the imagery, the pictures, at putting video, and then blogging, so through words. So we need to make sure that when our workforce is starting to show signs where people are loving to come to work, there's less time spent on drama. When all that's happening, let's capture that. So capture it in picture, capture it in video, and capture it in words, and then share it. Share, share, share. And, you know, basically it's like free advertising. I'm sorry, but, you know, we hire a lot for our clients, and one of the main things people tell me when we call is, I went and I looked at your social media and I could not believe how happy your teachers looked. And that is why I want to interview with you. And so when you've got, I mean, this is 3 separate companies that we're recruiting for right now. 3 separate companies, different candidates said the exact same thing. So don't take for granted what you're posting and what you're writing about your child care center. The effect. So when you learn to reinvent your workforce by leading through the challenge, by creating raving fans, and by sharing your unique experiences, top talent is going to see what you're doing. They're going to want to work for your company. Positive energy is going to be felt within your workforce, and employees and families will be your advocates. So when you have healthier workforce working for you, I mean, who's that going to affect? It's going to affect the kids. It's going to affect your families. So there's going to be higher retention and less turnover in both your teaching staff and your family. I mean, those are great effects. So spend some time on your workforce. Every day when you come in, that really has to be the first thing on your mind is, I need to create raving fans in my employees today. What can I do as a leader to do that? So action. I've got something really exciting for you today, and it's something that I did not do alone. Justina Patterson, our marketing director, and Crystal, she is head of our operations, and all 3 of us collaborated, and we wrote this book called 1001 Childcare Recruitment and Enrollment Strategies. And I did say 1001. it took it took us a very long time, but we did write 1001 specific strategies on how to gain enrollment and recruitment. And so as a free gift today, we're going to send you the ebook version of that, and just for listening in on these Reinvent webinars. But my action to you is, take that book, take a look at it. There's some really great recruitment and retention type ideas that will help you turn your workforce around. Be creative. So think outside the box, have fun. Part of the obstacle, I think, that we experience when we look at our workforce is that it's exhausting. And so we can often lose that passion and that fire. So that ends up rubbing off in our words or in our demeanor, in our energy levels. So, when you bring creativity back into it, it makes it a little more fun. So go be creative, try some of our ideas. Remember, your current employees and your current families are really your best advocates. And so use them in your attracting employees versus recruiting. And then share your experiences. Get it out there. It's not about bragging. It's about being happy about your workforce. So go and share whatever you're doing at your childcare center. But thank you for coming today. Our next Reinvent webinar is July 23rd, and we're going to talk about reinventing meetings, because meetings can be like the worst ever when you are in a meeting for 2 hours and you've accomplished nothing, or if you feel like you're always in meetings and you're really not getting anything out of it. So let's have really good productive meetings, and they could be very short, yet probably the best meetings that you've ever had. So a meeting doesn't have to be an hour or too long. You could have a really short meeting and make the most out of it. This is one of the services that we offer, Need Another You. So you basically can buy us for 3, 6, or 12 months. And it's pretty amazing because we do everything. So we don't just consult, we actually do the work. And we're called Need Another You. We basically clone you and become a part of your center and can do anything that you can imagine, from marketing to procedures to training to accountability, anything. And so we become another you, really. And then I just wanted a final slide. Thank you everyone for coming. This is our new sales and marketing automation platform. So again, if you're interested in automating any of your enrollment, recruitment, or onboarding processes, feel free, send me an email. I'd love to give you a demo. It's pretty amazing. We're really excited about it. We actually just launched a client today live, so they're out there using it today. So we are very excited to where Childcare Biz Help is heading and what we're doing for childcare centers. But I hope you all have a really great rest of the day. Enjoy your final week of June, because July is right around the corner, and I will get everyone their 1001 strategies to them, hopefully by the end of today, if not tomorrow. So y'all, any questions, feel free to send it in chat here. I'm here. Wow, we finished right on time, 11:59, that's amazing. But if you do have questions, feel free to put them in chat. If not, if you can't think of any right now, go ahead and send me an email and I'd love to answer them. But again, you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.